Today we want to celebrate the 50th birthday of a great man. And since we don't know any great men who's having a 50th birthday today, we thought we'd settle for Keith. So come on inside and let's give Keith the best 50th birthday that he's ever had.
The story of Keith takes us across the world, heading east to the land of India and up the river Ganges to Allahabad, where our Keith was born in a bathtub. But don't worry, he's never seen one since. Even at that early age, it is said that he had great dreams of becoming one day a great leader and living in a big house. But these dreams had to wait, for Keith's dad was a military man. No, this is not Keith's dad. We had to ask Keith to stand in as Dad was unavailable. No, this is not Keith's dad either, but we can't tell you who this is because he doesn't really appear in the story just yet. However, a soldier's life took the family away from India into deepest Africa. In Africa was a tough life, living out in the bush and fighting the wildlife and managing to tame them. But our Superman knew he could do it. His mother would tell him stories of one day our Keith was going to be a great leader. At this early age, he learnt many things, including the fine art of magic from Paul Daniels. When asked, "Do you believe in Father Christmas?" Keith answered, "Yes, Paul." Everybody say, "Yes, Paul." Yes, Paul. And in a moment, Keith was transported out of Africa. That would make a good title for a film, wouldn't it? And into the Wonderland, which is also called England. He still fought with wild beasts, but that longing to travel back to India was always at the back of his mind. However, he turned left at the lights when he should have gone right and ended up at Land's End. Not to worry, George and Drina Verwer said, "We'll put you back on the right road to India, but you must first forsake all, even the loves of your life." So in 1965, with his old pal Dave, they headed east again to preach the gospel together. It was a long journey across the sea, through deserts, using all modes of transport, but finally reaching their destination. He shared his dream with a local Indian. "Frank, I want to be a great leader. Can you help me?" "Ah, you must visit my very good friend, Maharaja Jim'll Fix It," which in our language means, "Jim'll fix it." The Maharaja told our Keith how he could become a great leader. He said, "Behind every great leader, there's a great lady. What you need is a true Indian princess." So the search was on. It took him to the land of Clements, where Mrs. Clements said, "I've just the right daughter for you." But alas, she's back in England and still at school. In no time at all, Keith was heading back to UK, even though it was a long way to swim. In 1968, Keith met number one daughter Christine. Their eyes crossed, and they'd been cross-eyed ever since. Soon they were married, and our Keith swept her off her feet. Either that or he'd just broken her leg. Now they were two, and they thought, together we will preach the gospel. We will invite people to our home. We'll preach to kings. There was no limit to which they would not go. They went out into the highways and byways. They even reached the farmers. One farm they went to was Court Farm. To spy out the land, they went in disguise. They met all kinds of peculiar people, even a group of ladies who played the mouth organ. But they managed to win them all for Jesus. Now life was becoming just one long honeymoon. Keith loved to sit at his mother's knee and listen to stories just as he did when he was a little boy. She told him the one about the birds and the bees. This was his favourite story. And just to prove it, along came little Jason, who wanted to be just like Daddy. Not having a bathtub, the sink was just the job. Although it is said that at one time he was almost lost down the plug hole. Soon along came a little sister for Jason. Rachel arrived. She got all the love and attention, so Jason asked his dad, "Dad, why don't we just chop her head off?" Keith thought, as his boy was growing up, it was time to teach him to drive. But bad driving put the car into the lake. This didn't put Jason off, however, and for his 21st birthday present, his dad gave him a car all of his own. Rachel's friends would always fall for her dad. Christine thought, is it the beard that attracts the girls? And so it had to come off. She wanted him clean-shaven, like the Busbys at Buckingham Palace. Some say, like Samson, he lost his strength that day and returned to his second childhood. But those of us who know him well knows that Keith will go on from strength to strength. So when you see him, say, "Keith, you don't look 50. All together now. "Keith, you don't look 50. You only look 49.